Today I'm putting together a Nuc Box. It's winter outside. I don't know, is this still recording? Okay. The screen went black on this side. Alright.
I switched it so I can see it, but you can't.
One of the best things about living overseas is, especially in a place like Ukraine, is you can find, I love to keep bees, and you can find beehives and anything you need for beekeeping for fairly inexpensive. Especially here, they make some really good quality products for really low prices. So anyways, today I'm going to be putting together one of these. I've done it a couple times, and I've learned the hard way that you really need to lay things out so that it goes together correctly the first time, so you don't end up putting it, taking it apart and putting it back together. We'll show you some pictures later on. It's winter here. It's early February, and we're getting snowstorm after snowstorm, so I'm stuck inside. So we're putting these together, and then later on I'll show you another video where we're painting them. I have two others that we put the first coat on, and this one obviously we'll have to put a first coat on, and then we'll put the second coat on the others, and then follow up with the second coat for this. So anyways, it comes in several pieces here, but it's really high density styrofoam, so it's really strong, and it just snaps together like Legos basically. And the most important thing is that you need to pay attention to this top seam here, which is where the frames are going to be sitting when you put your wooden frames here. So those need to match up. And then you just put it together, basically like Legos. I'm going to put my foot on here. And this styrofoam really is really strong. I haven't managed to break one yet. Not to say that it isn't possible, but I haven't done it yet. Okay. Again, I'm going to want to make sure this is all flush here, and then it matches so I don't have to take it apart again. I'll take it off the carpet to really seat it so it's connected well, but it's fine for right now in the carpet, on the carpet. So you can see it's a spin. You know, 30 seconds or so. We're already mostly done with putting this main body together. And these are great because they've got like a plastic divider. So you can, I don't know if you can still see this. Sorry, am I in frame still? So I'm just going to slowly work these together as far as I can, and use my incredible 190 pounds of heft to try to seat them together. If I had a rubber mallet and I could put something in between the hive and then kind of pound on it, I will, but since I don't want to go out into the cold garage, I'm going to use a large book. So this is a little bit sentimental. It's a book I used to learn Russian when I was 19. Sorry, Dr. Jarvis. I'm just going to pound this together until all the seams are flush. Change sides. Kind of see, I don't know if you can see that very well. This side's probably a little farther apart, but you'll see it. As you pound that down, it starts to set flush. Just do that on all four sides until it's really flush. Sometimes there's a little bit of remnants of the styrofoam in the creases, but really it really just matters that you get a more or less a seal here, so it's going to keep out any drafts when you put these together, so that's fine. And then when we paint this, it'll more or less fill up that gap. Alright, so that's one body. You can see the floor here And it comes with these little metal inserts, so you have an open body. This is my least favorite part of this whole system, because as you can see, these aren't really flat, and so eventually what I'll go and do is put little screws and screw this down into the styrofoam to make sure it sits flat so it seals. But for now, I'll just show you how this fits together. So really simple. If you don't have it upside down. So that sits on the bottom like that. I don't know, can you bring the camera over here and kind of look down in here? This is what I really love this for. So it's got this plastic separator in the middle. So you can just drop this down. There's a groove already in the middle, in the sides and the bottoms. Make sure the bottom's flush. So you can basically have two nucleuses in here. This will hold 3 frames, this side will hold 3 frames, or you can pull this out and do a single hive in here. And then if you do that, then you can close off the entrance on one side. So what I like to do, what my plan is to do with these, is to overwinter 2 nucleuses. And what's interesting is you'll have the 6 frames in here, so 3 on each side. And they'll use each other's heat with just this splitting into it. So it'll look like a cluster in the middle here, and it won't be 2 separate clusters. It won't be like a cluster here and a cluster here. If you pulled the top off, it would look like one big cluster together, even though it's 2 separate families. And then it comes with entrance reducers. So when you're first putting the bees in here, and the other 2 that I've got painted right now that I'm putting the second coat on, they're going to be going on the balcony upstairs. And we're going to use those for swarm traps to see if we can't find us some free bees in the spring. But anyways, that's it. You can see it's really easy to put together. It's incredibly light, even with 6 frames. And I have 3 of these, and so I can take the other 2 and I can do if I wanted to do honey production, I could, or just build out the families bigger. You can put 2 more deeps, and these are just standard deep sizes. So I can use all my frames are standard deeps. Yeah. So I could just put a queen excluder on this and put another body on here with the roof, and then if they fill that with honey, then I can put another top on that. The third body on that with the top on that. So. Anyways, really versatile, super lightweight, easy to work with. And I think here they were about $40. So compared to the $100+ in the US, I've been really impressed. The only negative besides these vents on the bottom that don't sit flush, when you're painting this, there's so many nooks and crannies. They could have made this a lot flatter, like with a lot more flush surfaces, so that when you're painting it, it's not such a hassle to get in all of the nooks and crannies. It is nice to have some spots for handholds, but you really don't need 2 spots here. 1 would be sufficient on both sides. So you can see on the front and back, and on the sides they have this indent here and another larger one here. It would be nice to have this one to be able to maneuver, like pick up the hive and walk around with it. And then this is just extemporaneous, just extra. It's really unnecessary. So it's a pain to paint, but that's all. Besides that, it's great. So anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks. Good luck beekeeping.